So this is my project Nexus Quant, which is a financial application that is meant for more beginner level, entry level traders. And it serves as a streamlined platform for them to have access to all the resources that they need to advance in their investing journey. And it serves as a stock market analyzer and a personal advisor as well. And it's just a way for users to have that foundation and that base to really understand how to safely invest and get a way to really understand how it all works. And so now I'm going to be talking a little bit about the problem that I noticed within my field of interest. So, also adding on to the introduction, my application is around stock market, so like finance and how it really affects and how there's so many things that affect it. So this really connects with my interest because I'm also interested in the stock market as well, in addition to finance, and I've participated in like paper trading competitions as well with a few of my friends. And if it was really interesting to me to see how all of these different things that you wouldn't think are related really interconnect and are all just one serve as one big macroeconomic structure. Because I believe there's more things to just the company's performance that impact a stock, like the news and other situations as well. So now I'm going to be talking a little bit about the problem that I saw that really impacted me and made me want to create this project in the first place. So I believe that financial literacy has become like an unofficial requirement in today's world. And it's not just investing in stock market or investing in other assets. It's also just managing your day-to-day life so that you have enough money to do what you want and you have like a backup fund, and it really runs our lives as we live. So there are a lot of people who don't really have access to that financial literacy at all. And even in like a lot of high schools across the country, there aren't like financial education requirements. And because of that, these young teens become tomorrow's stock investors, tomorrow's adults that are managing their money, but they don't have the foundation core principles to be able to invest, manage money, and that leads them to not really how to understand how to invest safely in the market. Because from my own personal experience, before I even learned anything about this, I just thought that the stock market, like if a company did well, they had a good stock. If a company did bad, they have bad stocks, they have a lower stock. But now, as I've learned more about it, it's really become something that is like, wow, there's so many different things that are controlling this, and it's way more complex than I thought. And so because of that, I believe this has become like this, even though it's improved within the last 10, 15 years, it's still like a big problem that's impacting a lot of people. And it really affects our day-to-day lives as well, because if we don't know how to manage money, things can go downhill. So now I'm going to share some quick statistics that really show the impact of this problem. So first, 50% of adults in the US do not have financial literacy. So that means they don't have the basic knowledge that is needed to advance within the financial literacy tier, and they don't have the knowledge or the education behind them to fuel any like capital ventures that they have, or really anything that requires money in their lives. And next, 38% of non-investors have a fear of investing because of that lack of financial literacy. Because I think because of the complexity of the system itself, it really seems intimidating and it makes it like 5 times as hard because you don't know what it all means, because there's so many like metrics and measurements that are used that really require like research and understanding to know how it works. And also, 25% of Americans fall into the very low financial literacy tier, meaning they don't have the bare minimum to, they have like the bare minimum to live in today's world. And so that really creates like a sort of, wow, so many people, like, this is a big problem. And so my solution to this problem is by creating my application Nexus Quant, which can help like more entry level traders gain experience through having access to resources that have technologies to run simulations, have access to proper financial data, and really just learn how to do it all and really just have a place, a platform to have access to all of this. Because I believe, like, I know the stock market is a lot of time commitment because of all the factors that impact it, and you have to sit and analyze through all this. But I think with this platform, it can really help people without spending a lot of money. It can really help people learn how to do it without spending time on some of the more not unnecessary but redundant stuff. Because now that we have LLMs and things like that, it can really help us save time in adding a lot of and having like news being in predictions, and how news can really be analyzed and how it can help us. So now I'm gonna do a quick demonstration of my project. So first, when you run the project, it opens to the landing page. And so here there are some quick facts about the application. Like, it's powered by Yahoo Finance and the backend, and integrated within Python as well. And it has really good system reliability, and it really updates really quickly and doesn't have that much slack. And so again, there are some more things about my project. And so now that we've looked about at the some of the features, let's open the application and see what it looks like. So when you first open the application, it takes you directly to the dashboard, which is the main page for the application. So here at the top, we have the rotating stock indicator where it gives it more of like a Wall Street feel. And then we have the main search stock engine. So when you search up a stock, you can either use a ticker or the company itself. And then you can just fetch the data and you get today's metrics, and you can change the time for anywhere from 1 day to the maximum it's been on the stock market. So in these boxes are the financial metrics that are being analyzed from the data that is being gathered again from the Yahoo Finance library. And underneath that is the graph, the visual graph for the stock itself within whatever time period you choose. There are two options on viewing the graph. You can either view it as a line graph or you can view it as a candlestick graph. It is up to the user's preference. And underneath that is a company investment report. So it is a brief overview on what the company does and what it's known for. And then underneath that, you have some other financial metrics that are important as well. And then there's also a quick recommendation on the stock itself and what you can do with it. And so moving on to the next page, which is the stock comparison feature. Here you can compare 2 or more stocks which are directly related to each other. For example, I chose Verizon and AT&T because they're both major telecommunication companies. And here you have a quick general summary and some other metrics that are visible, so it helps you in making an analysis. Here you have the time period again, where you can see how it's been doing over certain times. And here is the visual graph with timestamps, so you can see the price at certain times. Now moving on to the AI analyst feature. Here you can run a quick general analysis on a stock, and based on the data, it will give you an AI prediction, a confidence score, and then a quick explanation on why it's predicting. So here we have NVIDIA, and its prediction is hold, and its confidence is 70%. And it is predicting this because of the market context. And so if you have any other questions or you want to get into some of the more technical aspects, you can always ask the AI chat assistant, where you can, for example, I put in what are NVIDIA's latest earnings, and then it gave us a response, and it gave us a quick summary and a recommendation. Now moving on to the next feature, the live news feature, which I personally think is really neat because it gives you, based on any market topic or a stock, it will give you the most latest news for today. It's giving stuff from yesterday and a few days ago, so it's pretty recent, and it has to do with the stock and other aspects. So this is the part that I think is important because there's so many different news headlines and things that can impact it. And so I think this will really help people save time and understand, oh, news also affects the stock market, and how it can really help entry-level traders go to the next level in their journey. And also it gives a quick news sentiment and another confidence report, and then it gives a small explanation on a small analysis. And next we have the risk and portfolio section. So here you can add a portfolio and adjust it to see how you did with it. And here it will give you some more metrics and measurements on what it is. So it gives you your total value, profit to loss ratio, your risk level, and crypto exposure. And then it gives you a quick diagnostic on your portfolio. And here is where you add and remove your portfolio. So here, if we wanted to add an asset, we could, like for example, Verizon, 10 shares, and I bought it for $45. You can save it, and then it would update, and then you could see it also in the visual representation in the pie chart to see how your portfolio looks. And if I wanted to remove it, you can just hit remove, and then it goes back. So next is the backtesting feature, which I think is really an important tool that is really cool because you can add in your stock whatever money you decided to spend. You can pick a trading strategy and you can test it using real historical data, and it gives again another couple of metrics and a diagnostic as well. And underneath that you have a couple of graphs showing how it's been throughout the years. So here there are 3 different strategies that you can use. You can input a start date and then test it to see, well, if strategy worked in the past, it's probably going to work in the future. If strategy didn't work in the past, it's probably not going to work now. Next is the financial literacy feature. Here you can learn about basic financial literacy. Like, for example, here it is module 3, and it gives you a quick quiz. I'm just going, and then it will score you at the end. So now I'm just gonna quickly take the quiz. I'm not really trying for it. And then so when you submit answers, it will give you a score. And then, for example, oh, I wanted to practice some more questions. I could go and practice more investing questions, or again, if I wanted to do more budgeting questions, it would go back to a different module. And then moving on, there's a watch list feature where you can add a couple of stocks that you're looking for. And again, in the settings, so the settings, there are a few application settings that I like to talk about. So first is the theme mode, where you can change it as per user's preference. The accent color, where you can change it again, user's preference. So those are the more visual elements to the settings. And then there's the price alerts feature, where it will set a local alert on your computer. So for example, for example, Tesla, if I wanted to set a price alert for Tesla and its target was $300, once it reached that, it would send me a notification on my laptop saying, hey, in this application, your stock has reached its target price. You should probably go look at it. And then next, I believe this is like a cool feature, the paper trading mode. So the paper trader simulator, it gives you $100,000 of cash, and it gives you, and you can buy and sell stocks just like normal. For example, I wanted to do Apple, and then it changes up here, gives you the ticker, and then I wanted to buy 10 stocks. I bought it. It comes out of the cash balance, and it gives a notification here. And oh, I wanted to reset my portfolio. You would go back to the settings, and then you can reset your cash balance back to $100,000, and everything resets. So this is the demonstration for my project. And so now going back to the presentation. So some future plans that I have for my model are to integrate a file import and export function, so that people can, for example, they have an Excel sheet that they have with all their portfolio and all their data, and they wanted to analyze it. They can just import it into the application and they'll get feedback on it. I also wanted to add more large language models into the program, because it would help users have better responses and more clear responses. And then after that, I wanted to add some more strategies for backtesting, because then that will help users find the strategy that works for them, and they can like tweak it and perfect it. And then I wanted to add a few more risk management analytics, because there are a very diverse amount of stocks and very diverse amount of sectors. So I think adding some more analytics to it would really make it better for the user to have access to that data. And I wanted to add some more visual and more customizable features into the front end, so users can have a more personalized feel of their application and then change it accordingly based on whatever aesthetic options that are there. And so I really wanted my application to feel like a stepping stone in users' investing and financial journey. And so I believe that was my main mission for this application. So this concludes my presentation on my project. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the great presentation. It was really like clear. I have few questions about the project. So, what kind of data are you using for back testing?
So for backtesting, again, it's coming out of the Yahoo Finance library, and so I imported all the historical data that is within the library as well. So it's not using like fake data; it's using actual real life data that is coming from the Python library.
All right. And for the paper trading thing, are you also taking slippage, cost, and commission into consideration?
As of
Whenever
right, Can you repeat that last part?
Yeah, whenever a trade happens, like, are you taking commissions and slippage into consideration? Have you thought
Uh,
about that?
as of right now, no, it's just a direct stock price, but yeah, I'm gonna update it accordingly and add some more features into it to make it more advanced.
All right. Yeah, and rest of the project looks really good. I mean, and the idea is also really great. Uh, let's say if you had to figure out a target audience for this and you had to reach out to them, how do you do it? Do that? Do you have any idea about how will you market this? How will you stand out?
So yeah, I have a target audience for this project, mainly like anyone invested and who wants to hopefully invest in the stock market and wants to gain that financial literacy. So I believe that it's good for like younger kids to get a basis and also any adults that want it. So again, like posting it around, like seeing how, like starting with like a small group, like for my example, my friends, my sister and her friends, and getting feedback on the application to see what works and didn't work, and then based on that slowly like putting it out there in my community saying, hey, for anyone who wants to advance their knowledge on this, this is a program or an application that you can use for it, and it's really suitable for younger kids because, well, I mean, in my high school, I do have a financial literacy requirement, but also it's never too early, really, to learn valuable skills, right? So that's how I was planning to market it as well.